Another highly questionable week. This guy's fired up. I don't have to introduce him anymore. He's here more than Poppy. What do you like on the show, Nameless Dude?
Can we stop complaining about James Harden's play? That was clearly fun to watch yesterday.
Dale, Papi.
Are you beginning to wonder about the Warriors?
Oh, come on. Knock it off. What a great game we watched last night. And if James Harden had missed one of those amazing threes, we wouldn't be sitting here talking about worrying about the Warriors. Let's just enjoy what we saw last night, which is unbelievable. James Harden goes into Golden State, goes crazy, and at the end of the game, he's doing things like this with people all over him. Like this is, you say do it in the playoffs, you can't do it any better than that. It's not possible to do it any better than that. He just needs that opportunity in the playoffs, because the guy's going crazy right now. There's no shame in the Warriors losing to that last night, is he?
He's been absolutely phenomenal and unstoppable. That shot right there, the step-back three, seems impossible to defend. It seems like he's never going to make it when he shoots it, but then he makes it, and you're just like, wow, how do I stop that? But I am a little concerned with the Warriors, and there's a few reasons why. I mean, they've never really turned it on this year, but part of that reason is Draymond Green is having a terrible year, and defenses are leaving him open even more than before. And whether that messes with his psyche or the team's actual offense, they're not just running their stuff the way they normally do. And when you question the Warriors, the question always follows is who's going to beat them? And I hadn't seen a clear and obvious answer. But when you've got James Harden doing this and his team's not healthy yet, and when they were healthy, pushed the Warriors to a game 6 and 7 last year, then you have to start wondering if the Rockets can be that team.
You Rocket fans better enjoy this right away, for as long as you can, because it's not going to last for too long, because CP3 is ready to come back. When CP3 comes back, it's going to be the end of all the fun. I'm telling you, it's like a big freight train that's going to come to a stop. It's going to happen.
Wow, it's loud, and it's CP 3 to 6 weeks.
Is Daryl Morey right that James Harden might be the best offensive player ever?
I mean, when you're scoring 40 points in a game and you're making 8 buckets, that efficiency is pretty startling. What he's doing lately is a scoring pace of the greats, and he's doing it, again, efficiently. I thought it was ridiculous when Mark Jackson said a long time ago that Klay Thompson and Steph Curry were the best shooting backcourt of all time. And then they went out and proved it because the game changed and the math changed. It's changed in a way for James Harden, taking 16 threes a game, that helps him as well.
This is part of the reason where I'm starting to wonder if the Rockets can actually beat them. James Harden just didn't sit on his laurels after winning an MVP. It seemed like he got better. Heck, the beginning of this season was not very good for him, and it seems like he just went back into the lab and turned it right back on, and now he's doing this. And when he's telling you, hey, I'm going to win 2 MVPs, well, heck, maybe that means he is that level of unstoppable. I think most people would say, hey, would you take a Dwayne Wade in his prime or a James Harden in his prime? Most people would probably lean toward Dwayne because he's a more well-rounded player. But when you're talking about James Harden doing these things, something that Kobe has done and got lauded as being the second best shooting guard ever, man, James Harden is already there. I don't know about the best offensive player ever, but he's already right up there with those shooting guards.
It can't be stated enough, incidentally, how differently everything would have been if Harden and Westbrook and Durant had stayed together to build the super team before this super team that would have been winning for 10 years without anyone getting mad at everyone for television shows and Kevin Durant for arguing with everyone on Twitter.
Well, this is all good. This is very good. Until he goes 3 for 27 in Game 7.
That's right.
No good
That's right. Never want to do that thing. Is he in the clubs too much? What about the Kardashians? We'll do that whole thing again.
Who got a tougher challenge, Philip Rivers or Lamar Jackson?
All right. The tougher challenge belongs to Philip Rivers, because Philip Rivers is someone who's playing a very good defense. We all know that defense is very good. And then beyond that, Philip Rivers has to win at the end of his career, and Philip Rivers has to be great in order for that team to win the game. Lamar Jackson doesn't have to be great. He just has to not turn the ball over and trust his defense.
Moves around a lot, so he gets really sweaty. You're not supposed to let him see you sweat.
I'm sweating so much right now. So much more than I was seconds ago when they brought someone down here to towel me off. Please continue, Izzy.
I will, thank you. My answer is Philip Rivers as well. And I think it's interesting because if you look at the Ravens, you know what they're going to do. They're not going to alter their style. Lamar Jackson is going to run the ball. In fact, he set the quarterback record for most rushing attempts by a quarterback, and he only picked up the starting job in Week 11. So obviously, you know what they're going to do. The Chargers against that Ravens defense that keeps you guessing more than any other team in the league, that's going to be on Philip Rivers. And you already know Philip Rivers is a big fan of close games. Lamar Jackson at 6-1 record as a starter. All of those games were a one-score game in the fourth quarter. It's going to be close, and Philip Rivers is going to have to figure out that defense probably for a game-winning drive.
I have a prediction to make.
Oh, this is that time of year. Poppy loves picking games. What do you got, Poppy?
I tell you one thing, Lamar Jackson is going to struggle, and the Chargers are going to have a hell of a game. But you know who is coming off the bench for the Ravens? Jose Flacco. And Jose Flacco is going to make the difference in that game, and he's going to lead the Ravens to victory. You know what I mean? Jose Flacco, the man of the hour, the great Latino quarterback.
This way, Jose.
Who has got the tougher challenge, Nick Foles or the Russian?
He's not a Russian. My father likes
Going
to
off
call him a
script,
Russian because Trubisky, okay, that's enough. His name is Trubisky and he's not Russian. But when you look at Nick Foles, he's got to be great in this game against Chicago in order for them to win, because you know Chicago's defense can win this game without much of Mitch Trubisky, the Russians' help at all. Foles needs the help of everyone in Philadelphia, even though he's Super Bowl Foles, because he's going on the road in the winter to play this particular defense. Everything's stacked up against him.
I want to say that Nick Foles has done this already. I want to say he did it against a vaunted defense in Minnesota last year. And I want to say that Michael Bennett and Fletcher Cox are playing great, and that defensive line for the Eagles can make life miserable for Mitch Trubisky, and him being young can still make some mistakes. But it's still a more difficult job for Nick Foles because the Chicago Bears have that guy and that defense and that line. And unless Trubisky's automatically going to make a ton of mistakes, you can't really predict that. I'm still going to go with the Bears. But if the Eagles get by this defense, and it's sort of starting the whole process of last year all over again, pretty sure anything's possible after that.
Well, I have a prediction to make.
Oh, another prediction to make.
I got a prediction to make.
Another one.
And my prediction is that nobody believes in Nick Foles. You know, this is the guy that nobody believes in him. The same thing happened last year, but I tell you one thing, you know what I mean? He's going to deliver this year. That's the first part of my prediction. And he's going to beat the Russian and the Bears, you know. And the second part of my prediction is that Wilburn is going to be crying all night long after that game. He's going to be crying for every week. That's right.
Baby chicken.
Would it make sense for Josh McDaniels to give up his place as Bill Belichick here to coach the Browns?
Okay, not his hair, his air. For some reason he did not. That's okay, Poppy. It happens to people. I understand why that would happen to people. No, it's still the same. It's air, whatever. We'll move on. The idea that everything has changed in this sport fast enough for what I'm about to say to not be ridiculous is staggering. The Patriots' job after Tom Brady and Bill Belichick's not that great of a job. You don't have a quarterback for the next 10 years. The Browns have a quarterback for the next 10 years. That's what I want to attach myself to. And they've got a bunch of young players all over the place. It is a crazy thing to say that a team that won one game in 2 years would be more desirable than this one. But the reason it's desirable is because it got all those assets while only winning one game in 2 years.
This must be how toxic the Browns have been over the years, that this is even a question, because nobody wants to be the guy after the guy. You want to be the guy after the guy after the guy.
That's right.
And clearly, if Tom Brady's not going to be there and nobody else is going to be there of any significance, then of course you would want the Cleveland job. It just seems that for decades they've been so bad that something's going to happen there. Baker Mayfield might be a loose cannon in the offseason and maybe isn't here next year. All of a sudden, Josh McDaniels is going to go crawling back to the Patriots. It seems like an obvious choice, and that's why he's interested.
I got a prediction to make.
Okay, great.
I got a prediction to make. I think that this guy is going to pull a Manny Diaz job. You know what I mean? He's going to pull a Manny Diaz move. You know, he's going to tell the Browns, yeah, I'm going to be there. He's going to go there for about 3 days, and then he's going to run back to New England, you know. That's right. That's what this guy is going to do, and that's going to be my prediction.
Do you have a prediction to make?
Coming up next on Highly Questionable.
There we go. Under the leg.
There, just stop. Nope, no tricks. Just stop.
No, you don't have to stop.
There we go.
My son's TV show is brought to you by Miralax. It works with the water in your body to unblock your system naturally.
Also carry
Time to play the game that uses Dan's credit card whenever he orders anything online.
I knew it!
Do you question?
I knew it!
I just bought everybody lunch with this credit card. You give us topics and events, we question.
It's you! You greedy thief!
Do you question if Kuwait was emotional?
Kawhi is what his name is. That smirk that just emerged on my father's face is because he knows it's not Kawhi, and he does this on purpose. He returned last night to San Antonio. They got drubbed. The Spurs won by 18. Here's the end of the game. Oh, is that emotional? I mean, that's a smile, is he? That's a hug?
It seems legitimate. I'm intrigued by the fact that this seems like the only time Greg has gotten in contact with Kawhi. It seems like he's like, no, make sure you come over here because every time I've been trying to reach you for a year and a half, you've been dodging me.
That's right. And when there was an urgency to Popovich there, like, I've been trying to reach you for about 12 months.
Well, if he wants more hug, you know, he can come to Miami. I will hug him every day.
Oh, my God. Every day, Kawhi. How's that for a recruiting pitch? If you come down here and play for the Miami Heat, you could be in this man's hairy bosom. If you'd like to know what that looks like,
it feels
right
awesome.
there. No, don't do that to me. Come on.
That's never happened.
You've never done it before. Why would you do it now?
Do you question if this ref will try Scott Padgett again?
This ref is Carl Hess. He is a look-at-me referee, and Scott Padgett is a former Kentucky player who now is coaching at Samford. And look at what happened, but we're going to hear from Padgett afterward because this is going to happen quick, and you don't know the details of this. But there goes Hess just right,
all up in that hug.
Right straight toward the navel, right at the navel of Scott Padgett. Scott Padgett's navel better not ever talk to him that way again. And then here's Padgett afterward, not his navel, which is the only place that Hess would have heard it from, but his mouth.
I literally said, "Are you stepping to me right now?" I mean, that's what I said. I mean, like that's what I think's hilarious is in the world, it's not a real world out there because a guy like that stepping to me is not realistic. I mean, if we're out on the street, he's running the other way just if he sees me walking by. You know, like, not that this ain't right. I mean, just I'm 6'9", probably 280 right now. Not a lot of people step to me, you know, so.
Now I'm intimidated by Scott Padgett, and I apologize on behalf of Dan for calling you a former Kentucky player and not acknowledging that you spent a good time in the NBA. I'm sorry.
Can I just look back again at him at the press conference? I want you to see the size of this human being's face when it comes on the screen. You tell me if this is someone you, like that guy's head? Look at the size of that man. You can tell how big he is just from his face.
I got to say something to that ref.
Go ahead.
Hey, ref, if you really want to fight somebody, you know, that you can beat the out of him, you know, you come down here and you fight my son here in Miami. That's right, you come down here. You see how good of a guy you are. That's right. That's right. You get picked. That's right. That's what you got to do. Throw a punch. Give him a preview. Give him a preview.
No, that's enough.
Do you question if this was karma?
Karma for a gate climber. Let's see here. We've got a guy climbing a gate, parts unknown. Is this karma? It's going to move, right? It's going to open
on him, bridesmaid style.
It's going to, not when he's over the spikes. Not then. Not then.
Why is this karma, by the way? Are they escaping prison?
Oh,
what's wrong with jumping a
no.
fence?
Here we go. Help your friend. Help your friend.
God.
Oh, they were. Oh, no. This is. Are they thieves? Or are they trying to get in? This guy's helpful.
The pants,
oh,
man.
no. Oh, no. Oh, my God.
Those are worthy pants, the whole ball of wax.
The whole ball of wax. Well, not the whole ball of wax.
That is not my favorite fence video.
My father's got many fence videos.
That's right.
Fences like Denzel Washington. Oh, this is the one right here.
That's right.
There's a surprise twist here at the end.
Are they pants
There you
lost?
go.
Have you seen this, Izzy, or no?
I have not. Is this kid walking right through the gate?
This man has had a little bit too much to drink. This kid with 2 bags in his hands is just going to make that right there. There you go.
The youth always wins.
Do you question if juggling is a good way to impress your friends?
Okay, we love covering juggling around here. My father looks like he's more fondling than juggling. That's okay. Let's check in with a juggler.
That's why we're friends. I don't want to get a lot of them. No.
Why do you have to add fire to everything?
Yes, add fire to it for our amusement.
Hey, woo.
This is crazy impressive already.
Man, oh man, Scott Van Pelt can juggle.
There we go. Under the leg.
There, just stop. Nope, no tricks. Just stop.
No, you don't have to stop.
There we go. Boom, bam!
Oh, there it is, yes!
That is not his fault.
That is not his fault.
That is not his fault, you big dummy.
That is the guy in the red sweater's fault for coming in and getting in the middle of his exuberance, man. Get out of the way of his fiery dismount.
That guy was really playing with fire right there.
I mean, he really was. The rare time when you can say he really was.
He was fired up. The guy in the red was in the line of fire.
Yes,
He was in the line of fire. That's true.
That's what I call a misfire.
It is a misfire as well.
That guy was hot.
I mean, what just happened there? I think that's a bit of a stretch.
That video brought the heat.
Because he was on fire.
Really?
That guy looked hot and bothered.
I mean, he did. He did.
Do you know what they call that?
No, please tell us, Papi.
Friendly fire.
That's right.
Do they do the second F like that?
That guy looked a little hot under the collar.
Really, Papi? I mean, what was
Did you get
that?
it, though?
What was that rusty fence of an elbow he hit me with?
Because he was on fire.
That guy was a hot mess.
How many of these are we going to do? Are we going to do this all weekend?
That guy really added fuel to the fire.
I mean, what are we doing now?
I can't even laugh anymore.
That guy thought that he was hot.
He did.
I lied. I can't laugh.
Really have no idea.
Broadcast from the Clevelander Hotel on beautiful South Beach, Miami. Time to play the game that already has given up on all his New Year's resolutions. See? Oh no.
A donut at noon on January 2nd. You tell us what to watch on TV tonight. We tell you if we're intrigued.
Saturday on ESPN, ABC, and Fox, the NFL wildcard round. Colts and Texans and Seahawks and Cowboys.
Look at Bobby's excited. ESPN always seems to get Colts and Texans. Always seems to get the Texans. Let's check in with that other game. In Dallas, you've got Dak Prescott. He didn't need to play last week, but he played anyway. And look at this angle of this play right here, because it was beautiful. The whole thing was, that's crazy. It's just a crazy, that's crazy. All of that is, I may have mentioned, crazy. That angle is cool. Cole Beasley wasn't open. The referees were so confused, they called that an incomplete pass and had to go to review. Izzy, are you intrigued?
It was Patrick Mahomes-like, if you will. Of course I'm intrigued. I just want to watch during every commercial break, though, when they come back, the video of Tony Romo fumbling that extra point snap against the Seahawks when he played, because that is always funny.
While he's broadcasting the game. Boppy, what about you? Are you ready to make your picks? You ready to go? Of course.
Oh, see, I'm ready. I'm very intrigued.
Oh, wow. 3 very intrigued. Usually you only get 2. All right, Texans and Colts. Who you got at the Texans? The Colts. Andrew Luck at the Texans.
Oh, Andrew Luck's shoulder is going to explode. You know what I mean? That's what is going to happen.
Okay.
And the Texans are going to score a winning punch there.
Okay, a
That's
winning
right.
punch after the explosion of Andrew Luck's shoulder. That'll be a big story. He's leaning into it because he's very proud of that prediction. Seahawks and Cowboys. What else?
Oh, I'm very intrigued. I got another prediction to make, you know.
We already got your intrigue. Just make the prediction.
Mina is going to be very sad after that game. I'm telling you
Mina.
something. That's right. Mina is going to be very sad.
Oh. Cowboys, says Poppy. If you didn't know that Mina Kimes, an occasional co-host on this show, really loves the Seahawks.
Way to fill in those details, Dad.
Yep, they're important.
Saturday on ESPN, Clemson at Duke.
We do not care if things happen during break and we weren't there to cover them in a timely fashion. We'll bring you stuff 10 days late with no remorse and no apology. Here's Zion Williamson talking about, at MSG, talking about the idea of being in the pros.
Is that, obviously the NBA is in your future. What do you think about the idea of playing for the Knicks? Zion.
How do you quote him in a newspaper doing that? Izzy, you're intrigued.
It is kind of, yes, I am. Thank you for telling me. It is kind of interesting why you would ask a player a question about something he has no control over, but I am kind of intrigued with the idea of watching Zion and Kristaps and maybe Kevin Durant in New York next year.
Bobby, are you intrigued?
Oh, man. I'm so sick of this guy, you know. That's all they do. They talk about Zion. Unless he comes to Miami. I'll be talking about him all day long. 7 days a week. That's right, 52 weeks a year. He'll be the man in South Beach. Zion Williamson, that'll be my guy.
Sunday on the Science Channel, Houdini's Last Secrets.
Bobby, tell me what you know about Houdini. What do you know about
The
him?
great Houdini?
That's right.
Oh, man, this is a guy that used to go into a water tank, and they sealed that water tank, and he was chained, and then all of a sudden, he spent there about 2 hours, and he came out alive. I don't know how the hell he did it.
All right, he's a great magician, and he endures through time. My father's never had so much expertise on anyone as he does on the great Houdini. What do we have here?
The most famous secrets.
mean, water torture is so scary to me. Izzy, are you intrigued?
I mean, it sounds interesting, but I'd rather just go to your dad's house and have him tell me the stories.
It was pretty good. Poppy, how about you? Of course you're intrigued.
See, I'm very intrigued. But that guy is his great nephew, you know. He's going to reveal all his tricks on a TV show.
That's right.
All the tricks of the family.
Right. That's right.
Boy, that guy's a snitch.
Yeah.
And you know
Oh,
what happened to
snitch.
snitches?
Yes, you know what
They
happened.
get stitches.
Oh, if you
That's
didn't
right.
know, he just told
That's
you.
right. That's
Great.
you didn't know. That's all the time we have for today. Thank you for watching.
Enjoy your week, and all of us are back on Monday.
Happy New Week.
Are you back next week?
Yes, sir.
Oh, he's back. Oh, man, this is back next week. Oh,
How long is he
all
gonna be around
right.
here?